Hello, my name is Jacob Wolf, and in this video, I'll be introducing you to a Python project I made, which includes obviously Python and some SQL databases and SQL queries. Now, some background about this project. I'm a really big NBA fan, basketball NBA, and as you probably know, in the NBA, players get traded a lot throughout either a season or their careers. And so I had a theory that when two teams play each other, if you can look at each individual player's career win percentage, if you look at the first team and you start calculating each player's overall career win percentage and find the average career win percentage for the first team, and then you do the same thing with the team they're playing, my theory was that the team with the higher overall career win percentage should win that game. And so that was the baseline for what brought me into creating this project. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to start by showing you the results, which you can see here now in this spreadsheet. And then if you're interested, I'll show the background of how I actually made this program and how my program works. So what this table is trying to show us, over here we have all the times that the home team had the higher career win percent average. And this means their average was 0 to 5% higher than the away team. Here it was 5 to 10% higher, all the way until these columns where you can see their career win percentage average was 35 to 40% higher than the away team. In these green columns, we can see the games that I checked, just the starters. So we just looked at the top 5 players. And the blue column shows the starters plus the 2 bench players who played the most minutes. And in this green column, let's look at this one first. Here we have again the starters. Well, out of 10 NBA seasons, so these results are from the 2013 season all the way up until the 22-23 season that just happened recently. And when the home team was 0 to 5%, when their average career win percentage was 0 to 5% higher than the away team, well, that happened 2,301 times. And of all these games, the home team won 59.50% of them. And we can see, okay, what about when the home team's average was 5 to 10% higher than the away team? Well, out of those 10 seasons I checked, that happened 1,930 times. And that in those cases, the home team won 65.96% of the time. And then over here, we can see the results when I checked the top 7 players from each team. So the starters plus the 2 bench warmers. And again, same idea. When the home team was 0 to 5%, when their career win percentage average was 0 to 5% higher than the away team, that actually happened 2,542 times. And in those cases, the home team won 61.76% of the time. So hopefully this side of the table makes sense. And at any point you can pause this video and take a look at, okay, well, how often was the home team average this much higher than the away team's average? And how many percent of the time did they win? And you'll notice my theory, I like to say, seems to be correct, that the higher this percentage is, the more often that team actually ends up winning. But we can also see that the higher this percentage is, the less often that actually happened. And then over here, this is the same idea, except it was looking at, okay, what about when the away team has the higher average career win percentage? And we can see same idea. When the away team is 0 to 5% higher than the home team, well, when you just look at the starters, there were 2,377 games where that happened. And you can see, kind of interesting, that they only won 42.3% of the time. Then when their average is 5 to 10% higher, that happened 1,866 times. And in those cases, they won a little over half, 52.41% of the time. And again, this green column was checking just the starters, whereas this blue column was checking the starters plus the 2 top playing bench players. So if you have any questions about this table, I guess you can just maybe feel free to put a comment in, and I'll try to explain if there's any confusion about what this table is trying to communicate. Now, for those of you who are interested in how my program went about figuring out these things, pretty much what my program did is for the seasons from 2013 up until the 2023 season, it would go to this website. It would open up basketballreference.com. And so, for example, for this season, and then it would start going through every single game in that season. And it would keep statistics in a SQL database. So it would keep track, as I went through those games, it would keep track of which year or season were we looking at, the website to the actual game we were checking, the number of players we chose to check. So for example, you saw on the spreadsheet, I checked 5 players, and then afterwards I checked 7 players. It would calculate the career win percentage average of the home team, career win percent average of the away team, the difference between those averages, and then it would keep track of which was the home team higher or the away team higher. So which team had the higher career win percent average. And it would keep track of which team won, the home team or the away team. And it also kept track of the difference in points between the team that won and the team that lost. So after collecting all this information in a table, I was then able to query that table to give those results that you saw in the spreadsheet. And for the last part of this video, I'm just going to kind of show what's going on behind the scenes of my program. So I've got my program, so it'll print some of the things that are happening, so we can kind of see what's going on with it. So first, you can see I can put in the seasons that I want here in this list. So if we want to check the seasons from the 2015 season up to the 2020-2021 season, we would check all of these. For our purposes, I'll just check the 2015 season. And you'll see that when I am prompted, it'll ask me how many players. So you saw at the beginning, we checked 5 players and we checked 7 players. So let's start my program checking 9 players, the top 9 players from each team. And you'll see that it starts here. It has opened the month 10 of that season, because seasons start usually end of October or sometimes beginning of November. Here is the link to that game. And you can see it is calculating for each team. It's figuring out their career win percentage up until that season. So each of these players, this is their career win percentage up until the 2015 season. And then at the bottom, it tells me, all right, the home team's career win percent average was 59%, and the away team's average was 52.45%. And then it goes to the next game. Here's the link to the next game. It's calculated each player's, or it's found each player's career win percentage up until the 2015 season, and it's got the average career win percentage of each team. And then, like I said, behind the scenes in a table is keeping track of which team won, which team was the home team, what was the difference in those percentages, and all those things that we talked about before. And just to show, for example, Mo Williams, up until the 2015 season, he had a career win percentage of 49.5%. So I wanted to double check that. And yes, Mo Williams won 49.5% of the time before that season. And another example, I think I had Pau Gasol in the program. It says he won 53.7% of the time before the 2015 season. And if we checked that online, yes, he won 53.7% of the time before that season. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you have any questions about, how I created this program, or if you think I've made some sort of mistake in my logic of going through this process, I would love to hear about it. So feel free to send me a message or just comment on this video. Thanks again for watching.